probably call the Block Association meeting to order. I was trying to reach out to the presenter. Hopefully he'll come on, Mr. Malcolm McDaniel. He'll come on during that time. I spoke with him earlier and he said he would be here. So good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Everyone is muted, so I'm going to unmute them also. I'm going to unmute everyone so they can answer you, and then I'll mute everyone again. So I unmuted everyone.
Hi.
Very good. Thank you for asking.
Good evening.
How are you?
All right.
Oh gosh. So if we can, let me see the second. I am new to this, so please bear with me if I'm not, if I sound a little bit green around the edges. So the second item on our agenda for today is the roll call. So if everyone can, introduce themselves. Oh, everyone is muted.
Hi, this is Marjorie Faison here. Pleased to meet you. I'm the president of the Tilda Block Association.
Hi, Marjorie. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Edwin Joseph, and I am from the Black Association East 37 between Foster and D.
Hello, Miss Joseph.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm Philip Manifold, the president for the Black Association between East 34th, between Avenue D and Clarendon.
Hi, Mr. Manifold. Nice to meet you. And I see Detective Skinner and Mr. McDaniel. So the
Good evening,
third.
everyone. Detective Skinner from the 67 Precinct Community Affairs Office.
Yep, and Malcolm McDaniel, Director of Constituent Services at Mayor's Office, Community Affairs Unit. I'm here.
So welcome everyone, and thanks for joining today. So the third a point that we had on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes. I believe that was on the email that was sent out. So did anyone have an opportunity? Does anyone any additions, any issues with the prior minutes from last meeting?
Marjorie abstains. I wasn't present for the meeting.
Okay.
Either.
All right, so I'm not sure. Well, I was.
Well, I was on the meeting, so no issues with the minutes.
Okay.
Edwin.
So, can I get Miss Edwin, you were there the last time, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so can you make a motion to approve the minutes so we can move on, if you don't mind?
Yes, approved.
Perfect. Okay.
Someone second? Someone
Can
that was at the meeting second? Mr. McDonald, you was at the last meeting, were you?
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't? Okay.
But somebody can still second. I can second it.
Yeah, someone else can second. Okay.
Can I second? If I can second, I'll second.
Yeah, you can second.
Okay.
Thank you, Malcolm. Okay, so for the fourth notice on the agenda is my report. So welcome everyone. Like I said in the thing of transparency, I am I'm new as the chairperson of the community board, so please bear with me as I feel my way around. The last meeting that we had last month, we had raised some concerns. I had said that I would speak to the sanitation committee, which I did in regards to some of the concerns that was brought up in the last meeting concerning some cars that were not moved on certain areas, in certain block areas, and the street lights. Um, there was also some concerns. I spoke with the social services committee about the wanting some information in regards to the young and elderly population. And there was also a great need that they wanted education and community outreach information to be given in these meetings so that they can also give that information out to the people in the community, which is sort of right up my alley because as a nurse administrator at SUNY Downstate, I'm privy to a lot of that type of information. um, just just a quick, not going to stay too long. This is breast cancer awareness. There is a blood drive going on at SUNY Downstate for anyone that would like to donate blood. um, there's also free hearing and COVID testing. Even though it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, SUNY Downstate is making also a conscious effort about all the other cancers that especially affect people of color, and especially in regards to colorectal cancer, HPV vaccination, lung cancer. There's a big effort for smoking cessation. So just to please be aware and let everyone know in the neighborhood about getting tested for getting regular colonoscopies, getting regular breast exams, because the incidence of breast of cancers, of all cancers in the African American population is extremely high, the health disparity. So, just to be aware of getting tested. So also mental health awareness. Please let your neighbors know about um, reaching out for support, and being aware that there is something called functional depression. So check in on your neighbors, your elderly neighbors, making sure that they are okay. If you haven't seen someone in a while, a wellness check just to make sure that they're fine as well. I'm glad that Detective Skinner is on here. We were in uh, in the committee meeting, there was a list of gangs that is in our area. I was really, really surprised by the amount of gangs that they were saying that was in our district. It was very sad to know about all of these gangs. So having the detective here, maybe we can he can speak a little bit about that as well. So just being we had mentioned about trying to get activities for the young people in the neighborhood to sort of keep them off the streets. So Mr. McDaniel could probably mention maybe some activities as well for that. And that is the end of my report. And moving along for the presentation, we have Mr. McDaniel here. He is the Director of Constituent Services in the Office of the Mayor, Community Affairs unit. I thought it would be a really good idea to have him here. He's such a wealth of information. And in the last meeting that we had, there were a lot of questions that they were asking in regards to finding out about some information. So that's why I thought having Mr. McDaniel here to answer any questions or to offer any information or anything like that would be good. So welcome, Mr. McDaniel. And if anyone here has any questions or anything you would like to start off by saying, Mr. McDaniel, I yield the floor to you. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. McDaniel? Anything at all?
Nobody has anything.
Oh,
No.
this
Well, first
time.
of all, name uh, somebody's there. Somebody said name. Okay, so let me just start off real quick.
Yeah,
Good evening. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sure.
yes, we
Good
can.
evening. Hi, my name is Malcolm McDaniel. I am the Director of Constituent Services for the Mayor's Office of the Community Affairs Unit. I've been with the mayor since his Borough Hall days, and since then before then I had my own organization where I practically networked East Brooklyn, basically networking all the communities: Brownsville, East New York, Bushwick, Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, Canarsie, and also East Flatbush. Basically, letting everybody know about the resources in the community and basically where they're at and other things that were happening. I'm here tonight. First, I just want to say it's a pleasure me being here. I've been to many, many, many community board. I've been to many, many a CB17 block associate meetings. Actually, this community board is one of the only community boards that I know that has a block association committee, which is outstanding because your block association um, helps set the tone in your block. You know, a lot of people doesn't understand how important it is to have a block association, but if you have um, uh, um, the Brooklyn's logo is in numbers there's strength. You know, so if you set the tone in your block association on your block association for your block, meaning that if you see somebody, if somebody has a car and you know that person is near is somebody has a car and you know nobody knows who's near the car, call the police. If you see people, I mean, people drink, but we don't want to see you beat your wife up in front of us. If we do, we're calling the cops. You know, people want to sell drugs, do it somewhere else. You know, you set the tone, and that's one aspect of your block association. Another aspect is also where y'all can do something as a group. Y'all can buy garbage bags at a discount. Y'all can provide services like right now. Halloween is coming up. A lot of block associations, what they do just to make it safe, they pick one or two houses, and that's where the kids go in the store. You know, that keeps everybody limited. Everybody already know who's on the block. Everybody know who to expect, and that's that. Um, but um, but getting into the logistics of what I do at the mayor's office, basically I hold municipalities accountable, and also I provide resources. So basically, if you have a complaint with any municipality, you should, one, any issues you have must call 301, get a complaint number. That 301 dash whatever 000 is important to me because I can follow up on every complaint. That's the way I do my transparency, my accountable transparency, my transparent accountability, and that's basically uh, uh, calling up the agencies, finding out why is this ticket still here, why is this not moving along, and I ensure that they make sure they get it done, plain and simple. And also at our office, we have a lot of resources. Somebody might want to be starting a business. Somebody may want to find after school programs for their youth. Some people may want to have vocational training. I connect everybody to a lot of resources. And I'm trying to think. I know you were saying Natalie, which again, if people don't know Natalie, Natalie is an amazing person from downstate. I think she's getting ready to be a doctor soon, and she's also an advocate for the disabled. You know, so I'm glad that she's the chair of the Block Association committee, and and again if if there are if you have a situation and you need some assistance, you can always reach out to me. I put my name in the chat. All my contact information is in the chat. And I'm just trying to think. I know that Natalie was saying something about services for the youth. That would be DIFTA, Department for the Aging. And if y'all need that contact, if you have seniors that's looking for work, they want to work part time. DIFTA has an employment program for them. If you're mobile, if you can move around, visit other seniors, they have jobs for that as well. If you have kids that are looking for after school programs, I have that. If you have kids that are looking for jobs while they're still in school, high school, we have that. Want to start a business, want to start a nonprofit organization. You having problems with any tickets, you let me know, and I'll do my best. All right, I'm not gonna take too much time. If anybody has any questions, you can ask me now, or you can catch me offline. Send me an email. If nobody see the chat, my direct phone number is 212-676-3033, and my direct phone number is 347-942-1692, and my email is mmcdaniel@cityhall.nyc.gov. And
I
again, sure,
see Miss Joseph has her hands up.
sure, I didn't see that. Sure,
Miss,
Hi, thank you, Mr. McDaniels, for
sure.
the information.
Mhm.
I am happy I have your email, so I'll be following you with you offline because I have a lot of issues that I put ticket on 311 and no
Mhm.
one, they never address them.
Yeah, yeah.
And even the car issue that I have, it's been like over a year. I speak to Officer Cruz, I spoke to Officer Pierre about the same issues, like, and still to this day, like the car is still there. There's no movement, there's nothing. So good, I'll follow up with you offline. Thank you.
Sure, sure. So that's no problem. A lot of communities have the car issue. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll tag a car, then they'll move it to the next side of the street. Now it becomes a whole nother ticket. You know what I mean? Um, but if it's a car that already the tags is off and it's tagged, we'll just follow up with um sanitation.
There's no tag on this car,
NYPD.
Mr. McDaniel. There's no tag on this car ever.
Right,
The car doesn't have
right.
no wheels. It's parked on the street for almost 2 years since the pandemic, and it's still there.
No. I'm no. Sorry. What I meant by tagging, when sanitation come and tag it, then police can come and get it. You know, like they'll put an orange sticker on it.
There's no orange sticker on it.
Okay, well that
Right.
happened.
That's
Right,
yeah.
that's happened. I'll look into it. Just offline, give me the address, where it's at, and also like that, and we'll coordinate so for somebody to come out and tag it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Anybody else? That's it.
anyone else has any questions for Mr. McDaniel?
Oh yeah, and also I was off this week because of my foot, but I made sure I was in because I missed last month's.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. No problem.
So, I see Detective Skinner. I know I'm putting you on the spot. Detective Skinner, would you like to say anything?
Good evening, everyone. Just to follow up on like the whole car situation. He's right about that with the whole sanitation and PD, because the thing about it is we will go out and see a car, and if it doesn't fall under our tow criteria, we recommend it for sanitation. Um, and what they do the same thing too. So if you see a sticker that says sanitation on it, and it'll have like they'll mark it up with their like garage, more than likely they're gonna claim it. I'm sorry. And if they put like a thing that says Roto on it, it's referring it to us. But sometimes we have a battle over that because sometimes they say it's Roto, but it's really sanitation tow. Um, so the car situation has been it's been an issue citywide for some time now. Just to, just to follow up, just to and what people do is if sanitation marks the car, right, and somebody comes along and wipes it off, it's considered that the vehicle is claimed, and they can't do anything about it.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's something that was put in place, as far as the powers that be. But if they wipe the markings off, the vehicle is considered claimed. Just to give you guys some reference to the car situation.
Right.
Sorry,
Um,
officer, just for a second, Officer Skinner. I just wanted to just like bring this to the group. I mean, I understand that, it's a citywide issue, but I just cannot understand why our area is neglected. Because if I do the same thing in the city, in Manhattan, like the car will be towed already. Like I have a fire hydrant in front of my house. There's not ever one night that there's not a car that park in front of there. Sometimes they block my driveway. I do 311. They say, oh, there's no car there. And then until the morning, the car is still there. So if you park like 3 feet from a fire hydrant in the city, you'll get a ticket. You even get towed. Why our community are being neglected for the same thing? So, I mean, maybe it's beyond beyond your comprehension, or maybe like, the city, I mean, the PD comprehension. But at the end of the day, I feel like they should be treating our community the same way, right? They
so
shouldn't be like they treat certain area better than the other just because of who live in those areas. We pay taxes just like everybody else.
so I can't speak for Manhattan, but I can speak for Brooklyn because I work in Brooklyn South, and we do get detailed, and we do patrol coverages in other neighborhoods as well. And what you are saying, everyone is saying the same thing. The thing about it is that it's private tow trucks that have the contract to move these vehicles when you tow them. The private tow trucks also have their own business. So they have a certain amount of space on their lots that they have to keep for their business, and a certain amount of space that they have to keep for a vehicle that's towed. So what we try to do in the 6-7 is the NCOs normally take care of the towing. So what they do is they do a tow op. So what we encourage people to do is contact your NCO officers, contact us, shoot us a text of where the vehicle is, or shoot us an email where the vehicle is, and we try to put it on a big master list. And what they try to do is they try to do a big tow of what they can. They try to arrange with like the tow truck companies and say, hey, listen, can we do a tow operation? I have 10 cars that I'm trying to do. They may tell them, listen, I only have room for 5, right? And we know what, we have to get the others another day. The thing about it is, the faster we tow them, the faster people put them back. NCO Adam, a few months back, they did a tow op and they towed 45 cars, right? And within 2 weeks, cars were put. It's something that unfortunately it's a situation whereby, I don't know what the solution is. I don't know if the solution is a higher fine. I don't know if the solution is, maybe the boots. But that, how people put the boots on, like, if you have like a fine of tickets, I don't know if that would help because, people are more likely like, oh, but a lot of these cars that people are just dropping off are cars that people don't care about anymore. And we can't force the tow truck company to say, no, you have to take this or you have to take that, because they still have to keep room for their business. And the reality of it too is, where are we putting all these cars? Because I know Brooklyn has the Brooklyn Navy Yard that has cars like the impounded cars, and that has to stay for a certain period of time before they can move those cars out, before the tow truck companies can bring whatever they have on their lot down there. So it's actually, it's a bigger issue that that has to be worked out.
So
But
this is,
still working
this
on it.
is, hi, this is Marjorie speaking. I hope I'm not speaking over anyone. But so the city no longer has its own lots. Is that what I'm
The
hearing
city
or
has the lots.
understanding?
No, it's not that too much overcrowded.
Right, it's overcrowded. That's what it is. The city
Ah.
has the lots, but the thing about it is, like, for example, the Brooklyn Navy Yard, just think about one precinct alone in the 67 precinct, the amount of cars, right, that's being towed down there. And Brooklyn South alone has 13 precincts. That's 13 other precincts that's bringing cars down there. Then you have Brooklyn North that has 18 precincts that's bringing cars down there. That's Brooklyn alone. That's not including sanitation. It's not including DOT that also brings cars down there. So the thing about it, it's overwhelmed with vehicles. It's a backlog.
Yeah. Yeah, and what he's saying is too.
And I'm surmising that the cars have to stay there, I guess, a certain length of time.
Yeah.
So the owners have an opportunity to claim them. Is that pretty much
Yep.
how it works?
That's true. That's true.
Yep. Yeah, and not but that's also what most communities they're working on it. They're working on.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to create a legislation to pass just to try to even change the amount from 45 days to 2 weeks or something like that. So that way, so the cars can go to another level. Once people have lost the privilege of getting the car, then there'll be another contractor to take that and break it into metal. That kind of stuff. That's what the argument really is changing the timelines of basically how long a car should be deemed. How long you should give somebody the opportunity to come and claim the car. That's where everything is at now.
Right, because before the tow trucks bring it down to the yard, they have to have it on their in their lot for a certain amount of time to see if the person would come and claim their car from their lot.
Yep.
Well, thank you for the clarifications.
You're welcome. I just want to give you guys some tips of what's going on. Hasn't been, just giving safety tips and stuff like that. We do know, crime has gone up, unfortunately, citywide, but what we also have been seeing is property crime. Like, for example, like people like, petty larcenies of people's property. We encourage you guys to be vigilant, make sure, like, if you have your purse, I know ladies, sometimes if you're wearing dresses and stuff like that, there's no pockets. But if you're wearing a coat, try to keep like your wallet and stuff on your person and not keep, a lot of valuables inside of the purse. God forbid somebody snatches it. You know, also too, with the home invasions. We haven't really seen it here in a while, but I know certain parts of the city, people are dressing up as Amazon workers. People are dressing up as workers who like do road work. They may ask, "Hey, can I come in and I have to see this in your house?" No, ask them, "Where's your ID? Where's the company car?" And if you feel something's not right, call 911. Because what they do is they try to gain, "Oh yeah, not a problem," and try to gain your trust, and they try to get in. Even those people that go around who claim to be like, "Oh, would you like to lower your package for your cable or your direct TV or something, or your power bill?" If tell them no, I'm not, I'm not interested. Or if you get, the hairs on your back, your neck raised up, like, whoa, this guy or this, lady looks a little sketchy. Ask them questions. Don't open your door. And another thing too is sometimes what they're doing is they're trying to case your location. So like, if you yeah,
Somebody's violin lessons?
yeah, somebody violin lessons. So if you do, for example, if you do like open the door, what some of these people are doing, they're trying to get a look into your house to see what you have. So if you do open the door, you know what, you have a double door, close that door behind you, or crack it. Don't let them see, because what they're doing is they're trying to see and get an idea of what's going on. Also too, I know somebody said something earlier, I can't remember who it was, about the gangs in the 6-7. We do have a lot of gangs, unfortunately, in the 6-7. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I can give you some of the locations that they usually frequent. Like, for example, We have up here, like in Sector Adam, where the precinct is, it's a mixture. You have like the Haitian Mafia, you have the Martins Boys. Some of these gangs are also offshoots. You also have the folks which hang out by Nostrand, Newkirk, by the Flatbush Gardens area. That's like their territory. You have the Outlaws. They also affiliate, which is affiliated to the Bloods, which is in the 50s. Then you have like BMW, which is also affiliate. So there's a lot of these gangs are a lot of breakoffs of major gangs. And then when you slide down to the 90s is known for the Crips. So these are areas, just to that you guys have an idea of where they are or where they frequent. Obviously, people travel. It could be anywhere. Um, just little things to look out for too, as far as I'm sorry. Just little things to look out too, as far as holiday times, as far as phone calls. There's a lot of scams going on with phone calls too, whereby people are calling and saying, "Hey," and this is one of the oldest ones that have been going on for some years now. "Hey, we have your granddaughter or your grandson. Yeah, you have to send money." Or, "Hey, they've been in a bad accident." Or, "Hey, they've been arrested." If you don't know who that person, call your granddaughter, call your grandson, call their mom, call their dad or whoever. Like, "Hey, are you okay?" Don't get nervous and automatically just throw money or give them your account number and stuff like that, because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but also too, there was a Zelle scam. If you have like these apps that pay with money, whereby it'll be like somebody from a major bank that's calling you and say, "Hey, there's an issue with your account. You have to send it through Zelle." And they have the bank number and everything looking legit. They did it even with the 67 precinct one time. One time they said, "Hey, you guys called in regards to in regards to donating money." We said, "No, we don't solicit funds. Police departments can't. We're not supposed to solicit funds." So these are all things. Just be careful, especially IRS time too when it's coming up. A lot of people do that as well. Does anybody have any questions? Because what I'll do is I'm going to leave my number, my partner's number, and I'll leave the number to the office. And again, too, like with community affairs, we really work with the NCOs a lot. The NCOs they're really like one of the bridges also too, helping you guys out. Like if there's an issue on the block as far as a constant issue. One thing I do definitely agree with Mr. Malcolm, what he said with the block associations. It definitely does strengthen the 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 relationship of the block. It definitely strengthens the quality of life on the block.
Detective Skin, I just wanted to also mention, as you were mentioning about with the gangs, is there any sort of um advice that you can give, or is there any sort of like activities with school that will be closing now that maybe parents should be aware or should know about with their to help with their with their kids with these as we know where the location of the gangs are, but is there anything that parents should be vigilant about with the kids? Is there any sort of
Vigilant
uh,
as far as
uh
like any patterns, you mean? Like if there's like
like any patterns or
so
getting any, so is there any like a support or something that
so
they can reach out from with the police to help or something like that, anything
so
like that?
our so for example, right, our YCOs, the youth coordinating officers, they do work with a lot of troubled kids. They do have programs as well too. Um, they have the youth explorers. Um, they also have. There was a tournament they did first time they did it, which was last year, which was a big success. There was a lot of troubled youths that actually went, and it was a basketball tournament, and they actually joined, and it kept them off the streets, but it definitely was a success. So we have a few things. We also have the boxing gym that's located in the back of Flatbush Gardens that, we also recommend them to go to as well. Um, and our youth officers, like the YCOs, they have different programs. Like there's one of our YCOs over here has like a program that he takes the kids and he takes them to the gym. You know, so there's different programs we have. As far as like patterns, we really don't have any patterns. I know because some of the things that some of these kids do, it's not even so much even a gang association. Sometimes it's just how should I say, like, these three kids from this school, you know what, they rob kids from this school, right? But they're not in a gang, but at the same time they're doing gang activities, you know. So as far as that, yeah, we do have, like I said, we do have a few things that, as far as like from the youth side, that they can, what do you call it, that they can try to get into an hour end, that we try to help, try to help out, or try to, basically try, keep them off the streets.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
That also like I can provide y'all with a list of community youth organizations that's in your area, right? That and a different type of curriculum that they have. You have there's plenty. You just got to know where they're at,
Right.
and because truth. I mean, Natalie almost made me laugh. I mean, it's not. I mean, it almost sounds as if like what you saying, like if you see somebody in the gang coming your way, quick, go get a job. No, you can't. No, that's not what's gonna happen. No, you can't do that. You can't. Hey, go get a job. Go that way. No, they're gonna need some counseling. They might need to talk to somebody from a CMS group. Was that some? If people don't know what CMS group, that's Crisis Management Services. They're not the police, but they're people who've been out in the streets, who know the streets, who are commissioned and paid to be in the streets, to
Right.
be on like a deflector from a deflector from situations, from happening. So getting a list of them in your area would be um good for the community, as good for Block Associates to have as well, so they would know who to contact, or if they see something that is festering, you may want to say, hey, can y'all walk this block for a while? Or you may want to reach out to community affairs. Hey, you want to walk this block for a minute? Something might happen like that. But yeah, first and foremost, a lot of right now there's counseling that's needed. You have to find out what's in their head. What do they want to do? Who do they want to be? There's a lot of things that goes into getting into them, like getting to them. That's all. It was like an inside joke. That was all.
Thanks. Does anybody else have any questions for our presenters? Thank you so much, Detective Skinner. I know I put you on the spot a little bit,
No,
so
that's fine. That's fine.
I appreciate that.
Miss Ferguson, Miss Frazier just texted me. She said her Wi-Fi is knocked out again.
Oh, okay. So I will
Just got a
be
text.
okay. So I'll be sort of taking the notes to give to her for the minutes. Okay, no problem. Thanks, Detective. I appreciate that.
Not a
Does
problem.
anybody else have any questions?
Lady Skinner, just one quick question for you. I know, like,
Or
on
somebody.
the neighborhood online, it's Miss Edwin Joseph again. There are some issue with catalytic converter, they test around this area.
So
And I was watching something on the news, and they said NYPD was giving people a kit to put under a converter just in case it gets stolen, so they can
yeah,
find where
actually,
you.
yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. Our Auto Crimes division actually has a program whereby you can, like, they would etch like a serial number on it, on your catalytic converter. So like, let's say for example, someone stole it and they go to a junkyard and the junkyard sees that, they know it's a stolen catalytic converter. They can either not, obviously they're gonna take that part and wait for the police to come and do the investigation as far as who brought it in and etc. Yes.
So how could we get this kit?
So you'd have to contact the auto crimes unit. I'll
Oh,
get back
okay.
to you with that with that number. I don't have their number off the top of my head. But I'll definitely get back with that number with the auto crimes unit to contact them to see if how to go about setting up an appointment or how to go about getting that done.
Getting some, because I would just love to get some just for our neighbors, just in case, because I know some people have multiple cars and they park on the street.
But the thing is,
So
the
it
kit
just
though, I don't know if you can do it or I don't know if they have to do it. I'm not too sure how
hold
that
themselves. Okay.
works.
All right.
I don't know if you would
Thank
have to
you.
bring it to a location because I know a couple months ago they were doing it at Gateway Center Mall, and they were there and like the auto crime unit was actually doing it there.
Oh, okay. All right. Just if you have any idea, I mean, any information on that, just please, share it with
Not a problem.
the community board. Thank
Not a
you.
problem.
Does anyone have any other questions for Detective Skinner or Mr. McDaniel?
Philip
Detective Skinner.
Manifold. Uh, I don't know who to direct this to, but on my block, Easter Foot, between Avenue D and Clarendon, I recently started having a lot of complaints that the parking on the street is being taken up by other folks who are not living on the block, particularly the folks from Flatbush Garden. How could I address that?
Unfortunately, if it's a legal parking spot because it's a public road, we can't enforce that because it's a public road.
I see.
I'm sorry.
All right, I understand that. Um, Detective Skinner,
Yes.
I'm living right at the corner of Avenue D and 34th. I'm right at the corner,
Mhm.
and there have been quite a few near misses. You know, the car coming out of 34th Avenue D. I was thinking about a stoplight there.
You said
Who can I
oh, let me write
ask to address that?
let me write it down. You said East 34th Street and Avenue D.
East 34th,
Okay.
yeah, and Avenue D.
And you would like a stoplight there? You said.
Yes, like a stoplight there, being a lot of near misses there.
All right.
Because when you get to the other street and their cars parked, you can't see what's coming on the other side.
Okay. So what we do is we make a recommendation to DOT because DOT is the one that has control over that. So what we do is like our highway safety officers would go out and they would do something called a field report. And what they will do is they'll say, okay, I recommend or I don't recommend, or I recommend a speed bump, I don't recommend a speed bump or a stop sign, etc. Right? So what they do is they'll go out, they'll look at the intersection, they'll see, they'll observe it, and then they'll make a recommendation. We make the recommendation. A lot of times we do make the recommendation for a stop sign or a traffic device, etc. The only thing about it is DOT has the final say because they would come out and they would do a survey of the area and deem if it's feasible or not.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions, any comments for our speakers, Detective Skinner and Mr. McDaniel?
I'm just putting some numbers in the chat just so you guys can have to like navigate as far as if you have any issues.
Thank you so much, Detective Skinner. I appreciate it. I know I put you on the spot again, but
No, that's fine.
thank
You
you
can put
for
me on the spot.
thank you for the information and a lot of the clarification.
Not a problem.
Okay, so I'm also taking minutes because Miss Frazier got kicked out. She had some issues with Wi-Fi.
That,
So
that, Nelly, did you call me?
I'm sorry.
Did you call me?
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
Okay. Fine.
So we'll move on to unfinished business. Sorry if you hear the papers in the background. Like I said, I'm taking minutes now as well as. So the unfinished business from the last meeting that we had, which some people were not here. We were talking about, some of the people wanted to have a missions and goals a statement for the Black Association. I thought it was a good idea, and we were supposed to uh, um, get back with ideas about what we wanted the mission and a goal statement for our association. So I'm going to put in the chat my email, and if anyone would like to, because this is not, like I said, I don't want to run this as, okay, I'm the chairperson, so I'll be making up the goals and different. No, that's not what it is. This is a group. This is all of us here, all members of the Black Association. So I'm going to put my email in the chat. And if anyone would have any ideas about what they want our mission and goal statement to be, please let me know so I can, get that all together and, put it together and then run it by the group in the next meeting. So then we can have that. Um, And then, does anybody else have anything they would like? I know you guys were not, some of you weren't here for the last meeting, but anybody has anything on that they would like to mention or state?
Can I say one more thing, Natalie?
Sure, yes.
Sure. So I was just saying this is the Block Association is a great opportunity again to network and to become strong. I mean, y'all are the eyes and the ears of your community. So I would say, like, if you know of a community board, if you know of a Block Association that's not here, invite them, let them know that this is definitely a place where you can run into elected official, because many Block Association meetings that I've attended to, Community Board 17, elected officials drop through all the time. A lot of municipality agencies come by and give presentations. They've had galas before, and it's a way of really networking. And I'm saying a strong Block Association committee could even make your elected officials come and see y'all, and perhaps maybe fund something because they want your support. You know, with numbers, there's strength. So in saying that, um, I'm welcome to the Community Board 17 Block Association committee, and hopefully this will get stronger. More people will start attending. We can get some real addresses. We'll get addresses. We can address situations, and we can provide answers to those that really need answers. Because it this is our community. At the end of the day, this is our community. I'm a part of East Brooklyn, not specifically East Flatbush, but Brownsville. So I'm part of East Brooklyn. So, and all in all, I'm still at all with Community Board 17, because I'm telling you, I don't think there's any other community board that has a Block Association committee. So it's definitely something that Community Board 17 knew it was needed, and it was ran very well for years by other chairs. And I think this one, Ms. Natalie, and the rest of the community board to make sure that this will be ran appropriately too. So good luck.
Thank you, Mr. McDaniel. So moving into the new business, just to follow through on what Malcolm, had said, I really, really think that we can, make this Black Association Committee something that we can all be proud of, that can help members of the community. The website, the community board website, is such a good resource. There's a lot of information. I want to mention that there's other committees. I sit down on other committees like the sanitation, which is, I think, going into those other committees will also help you to get information. For example, the sanitation committee, they were addressing some of the car issues in their meeting. The social services committee that they had, they were talking about some of the issues that it pertains to services for the elderly, issues that may start arising because of the changes in the weather and heating issues and that sort of thing. We have the list of when those committee meetings on our calendar. So if you go to the website, you can see when those other meetings are happening and, make a request to join those meetings and also let your voice be heard. I put in the chat my email. Just let me know before our meeting comes up if there's any issues that you may have, and I can try to see, like Mr. McDaniel was saying, getting some officials to come in and talk to us about any concerns that we may have, so that we can really make this Black association a force to be reckoned with. And Community Board 17, good for the community and the business and the people at large. Does anyone have any other questions? Anything that they want to mention?
Just one thing I want to mention, Ms. Ferguson. I'm not
Oh.
sure if anyone have like a raccoon problem. Like, are you guys there's a raccoon situation around here? Because one of my neighbors sent me like a video of like a family of raccoons in her backyard, and we contacted 311, and then they told us like no, they can't do anything about it because they have to see if they are foaming at the mouth or they like outside during the day. That's when they will send somebody on site. But like my thing is like, why would you wait for something to be a problem? Like, there's a potential like they might have rabies. So like, why don't you just like, figure out a way to get them out of the community? So I don't know if anybody have this issue on their block, but
This is the first time I'm hearing about the raccoon issue. I can find out. That's the first time I'm hearing about a raccoon issue.
Maybe possum.
So
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have seen possums in the area.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Possums.
Yeah, the possums have a pretty strong presence for a number of years now.
Every day, people be rolling in there, making it complete.
So who do
So I
you
guess not.
who do you contact for issues like that?
So on the 311 website, they have. I mean, I have the app on my phone, and so they have a section for like if you have like rodents and things like that. So I did report it to that section, but the company is still open. They never reply, but I think one of my neighbor called, and that's what they told her. They were like, there's nothing we can do about it. If they're not foaming at the mouth or they're not coming out during the day, so that is not a concern that we can address. But I was like, okay, so, there's a potential for them to get sick, and then, you want to wait until that point to kind of do something about it. So I don't know. Maybe there's another number, like, anybody can share, like we can call somebody else other than 311.
I agree with you, Ms. Joseph. I
Felipe,
think they would want to deal with it before it becomes a problem. So
Yeah,
is it
and
311 that you called? Just for point of information for me, because this is a new situation for me. So I don't know. It's 311 if you see them.
I am not sure. I mean, I just didn't. I mean, I saw there was something for Roaded on their page. I thought it was them that we report to, but apparently they said they can't do anything about it. So they didn't give us any other reference to call. So I'm not sure if anybody know anything they can share. I'm willing to call and just find out how they can help, maybe set traps for them. But so far that's where we are.
Well, I'm not sure if I can say something.
Of
Philip
course,
here,
Mr.
Manifold. I'm
Manifold.
not sure. I'm not sure, but I think in this instance you will have to call an exterminating company, and they would come and trap it and release it somewhere else. But I think that's the way you have to go.
But he is right. 311 used to call 311. They used to come out and set up a trap and trap it, but they scaled back greatly.
These factors can increase your risk of
So for that, Mr. McDaniel, you would say so any kind of vermin like raccoons and possums and that sort of thing.
Right.
It's you're saying it's not 311 because it used to be.
Well, I mean, you call 311, they do a report. They would have to deem if it's serious enough for them to come out. And when they do, they're gonna set up a trap, but they have to know exactly where, and they'll set up a trap. Like I know they set up a trap on somebody's roof and behind their house, and they caught a few raccoons. But that was a festering issue. It's just known to be there. So.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, any complaints that y'all need looked into to get a transparent, accountable result, get 311 complaint, give me the complaint number, and CC me on an email, and I'll look and send me an email, and I will connect it to the Department of Health and everybody else that should be involved.
Thank you, Mr. McDaniel. Does anyone else have any other questions, comments, concern, anything they would like to mention? Okay. Well, then, Mr. McDaniel, thank you so much. And that anyone else before?
Not a problem.
So, can I ask for a?
He's already been to two.
Is someone saying something? Okay, so can I ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting? If no one else has anything else that they would like to add?
Motion to adjourn.
Marjorie will second it.
Okay, thank you so much. Everyone, I really appreciate you coming out tonight. I know it's been a long day. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you so much for coming. See you all next month, and stay healthy and be well. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks, everyone.
Bye now.
Yeah. Hi, Margie. All right, Natalie.
Good night.
All right, Detective.
Hey, thanks, Malcolm. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Wrong with